Hello, welcome. How's it going, everybody? Kristian here, and this video is not so much a tips and tricks, but instead this is just me explaining why I decide to offer all-day coverage on all wedding packages as opposed to structuring an hour-based package. One of the most common questions I get from brides that inquire about me shooting their wedding is how many hours do I cover in my packaging, and my answer is the same to everyone. I don't do hours. I don't believe in hours. It just doesn't make sense to me. I think that booking X amount of hours for your photographer is fine because they're delivering individual photos of your day for the hours that you book them for. But for me, I'm delivering one big feature wedding film. The goal to each and every one of my wedding films is to tell your love story. The best way to tell your love story is by showing all the fun moments throughout your day, from you getting ready, your little flower girl helping you put on your jewelry, your dad's first look, seeing you in your wedding dress. That's really important, and that really adds to the wedding film. And on the flip side, seeing you and your husband cut the cake, through the bouquet, toss the garter if that's what you're doing. But if you only book me for 6 hours, then you're not going to get the preps, or you're not going to get the cake cutting, and it just doesn't feel right. Your wedding film is just gonna feel incomplete, and that's not something I'm interested in making. Fun fact, I actually did film a wedding for only 6 hours once. I subcontracted myself out to another company on a day that I didn't actually book a wedding for myself, and so I just shot footage and then gave them the footage to edit, and they did the rest. The way they structured their packaging was by hours, and the bride and groom only hired me for 6 hours. So I missed the entire bride prep. I actually showed up a little earlier so I could get the first look between the bride and groom. There was just a lot of parts missing. Of course, I filmed the ceremony and most of the reception, but my coverage ended before the reception ended as well, and I missed some big moments there too. But that's what they hired me for. They hired me for 6 hours. I showed up for about 7.5, but there's just so much you can miss, and there's so much going on in the day. The point being, 6 hours is just not enough time to tell a compelling love story. That's why all my packages are all-day coverage, because it's just not worth missing important moments and making a less compelling wedding film. And it's not like I'm shooting another wedding that day. One thing to note is I base my all-day coverage on what content is needed to make your wedding film great. Of course, I'm gonna be there during your preps while you're doing all your hair and makeup, but I'm not gonna be there at 7 a.m. when you're all out of bed. You bet I'll be there for the cake cutting and tossing your bouquet and garter, but once the formalities end, I'm going to start packing up, because by that point, people will maybe have one too many drinks, the dance floor will start to die down, and I've already captured a lot of great content. If you're doing any extra formalities like a sparkler exit, of course I'm going to be there for that. I just need to know ahead of time, that way I can prepare for it. And likewise, if your bridal party does maybe a surprise speech or a surprise choreographed dance, I just need to know ahead of time so I can cover it best. But that's it for me today. Thank you for listening to my explanation slash rant why I offer all-day coverage versus hourly packaging. Hope you learned something from this little rant, and if you want to watch more great content, like my Facebook page, follow my Instagram, check out my website, of course, and I will see you in the next video.